Good morning, all of you. So today we'll discuss the numericals on the rotational EMF and induced electric field concept. So first we discussed previous class the rotational EMF, that one rod rotating man field. We'll take the applications of that, like motional EMF. We went for applications. Similarly, the rotational EMF. Then in the end, we'll discuss the theoretical ideas on the induced electric field. Okay, we'll continue with this one. So from previous class, rod rotated in a uniform magnetic field. I'll rotate this rod in a uniform magnetic field. So first, different shaped rods. Previous class we took only it was horizontal. No? Okay, now the shape of the rod is will be different. How to calculate that net EMF induced? Look at the shape of the rod. So I should go for effective length here. So in all the cases, what is EMF induced? Will be B omega. You have to just search the effective length between the ends O and D. So suppose this is EOA. In all the cases, what is the effective length when you move from O to A will become equal to L. No, don't write here pi, R or something. Earlier what we did for motion EMF, the similar approach what you can develop here. The reason for that, any charge present here, it'll get drifted, no? And what is the effective length will become equal to L. Then after which end will be positive. So again, take help of B bar into the plane. How the tangential velocity of any point will be downward because it is given clockwise angular velocity. Look at angular velocity here. It is clockwise. So B bar, the pointing finger B bar, and tangential velocity of any point will be directed vertically down. Thumb will point towards right. So therefore, this end will be positive. So can you replace this with an equivalent cell? Yes, it is. So it is equivalent to effective length. Again, you look at the charge particle present at O, it will get drifted, no? So what is the net displacement of the charge particle from O to A will be equal to L only. Again, go back to the same formula. What we got electric field E equal to V into B, then E equal to dV by dr. What is dr? Dr should be the effective length. Integral of dr will be R dr, no? There you have to put effective length here. Or else take that cross product, scalar cross product one, use that formula and integrate, you'll get the same answer. And now, what about the ring in this case? So let D be the effective distance. Now from the rod, no, I'll come to the different shaped loops here. What is the EMF induced in all these cases? All they are rotated about an axis, horizontal axis, passing through O, passing through point O, this one, with an angular velocity omega. Net EMF induced OAB will become semicircle, OCB will become semicircle, then net EMF induced. So this is the first diagram, I'm showing it. So it is equivalent to circuit of like this. This is EOAB and this is EOCB. And what about the magnitude of EOB equal to EOCB? It should be equal to B omega d square by 2. Net EMF induced in the loop 1, EOB minus EOCB. Why negative? Because when you start from, you go around like this, you trace the loop, plus EOB minus EOCB equal to 0, no? So this, therefore the EMF induced, this will be 0. Similar method you can apply it here also. So what is the EMF induced in all the loops? Net EMF induced will be 0. What about potentials? Can we say anything about potential? So this ring is rotating, no? Can we say anything about potential? We know B is the tire potential. This is B, EOB. Let it be. O and B are the opposite ends, diametrically opposite ends I taken. Now, can you say anything about potential? VB, not velocity, potentials. So regarding potentials, VB greater than VA and VA greater than VO and VA equal to VC. Potentials with respect to O, we are comparing this one. This I'll shade it. So different shaped loops will be different shaped rods, different shaped loops will come. Numericals will come. So just take the effective length. Net EMF induced here will be 0. This you have to take care. This is very important. Okay, now take this one. All of you entered through website, huh? It seems, ePregna website. Is it like that?
Not all, sir. Some of them, like we'll
Some
know
of
only
them.
some of them created.
Okay. Actually, what's happening is some other students are joining. Other institution students also are joining. So to overcome that, that's why they brought this method. Okay, no. Okay, carry on. Read this question. Look at the axis and look at the orientation of the rod. I'll assume let me take this a rod. This is the axis. This is theta, what is given for us. And there's the angular velocity, omega, and there's a direction of B bar. Let me assume a small element of length dx. This should be theta then. How the, so let's take the coordinate axis, because I have to indicate z axis will be out of the plane. Huh? Z axis will be out of the plane. So look at this component. So I'll resolve this dx cos theta, dx sin theta. So dx cos theta, dx sin theta will be like this, the element. How b bar is into the plane. How the velocity of this element and xy, no, and this is the velocity vector v bar. And what is v? V is equal to, I assumed element at a distance x. So what can be this distance? X sin theta. So the EMF induced in that small element will take it. So I'll do one thing. I'll directly go for the vector form is what we learned. So dEx is equal to velocity along z axis. So vk cap cross b bar minus b j cap dot dx sin theta I cap. Can you remember that formula? V bar cross B bar dot L bar. L bar is what? Dx sin theta. K cross J will be I minus I. So this will be VB I cap dot dx sin theta I cap. So this will become minus VB sin theta into dx I cap. Keep it here. No. Okay, this is a scalar. No, I dot I will be, this is a dot product. Now what is V? Tangential velocity. This should be equal to x sine theta into omega. B sine theta dx. Then everything should be equal to b omega sine square theta x dx. 0 to L. This is x equal to L, and x is not horizontal. Huh? Oh, I think I'll change all the things. Let me take it R. I think no, x is not, x is horizontal. R is along the length of the rod. So how much it should be equal to? B omega sine square theta L square by 2. Stick on to the basic formula. You'll be on safer side. Now which end will be positive, negative? How to decide? So what we calculated from the axis to this one, no? Or you do one thing, tangential velocity. So B bar into the plane. So this will be positive, no? This end will be positive, this will be negative. Or since we integrated from x equal to 0 to L, I got negative. So therefore this end will be negative. Either you can interpret sign or take help of Fleming's left-hand rule. Assume any one positive charge in what direction it will experience force, and in the positive charge in what direction it will drift, that end will be positive. This is about due to x component. Similarly, y component we should work out. So the y component content will be, better take help of mathematics rather than fighting with the gas, all that one. So dr sine theta, like that, different shaped rods come, no, you should take help of this mathematics. So dr and this is b bar. I think it's quite very clear for you. Angle between v bar and b bar. Okay, this one v bar b bar. And what about dr cos theta? It will be vertical, no? Vk cap cross minus bjk cap dot. This will be dr cos theta j cap. It is. So this should be minus vb I cap dot I dot J should be 0 minus VB cos theta dr. So no EMF will be induced due to DEY, that one. So therefore this should be our answer. Total EMF equal to EX plus EY. Magnitude I'm writing B omega sine square theta L square by 2. The rotating rod we can replace with a cell of EMFE. So the orientation of the rod will be different. That you have to be careful. Let's take the no. And now we'll explore the application part. So there is a semicircular loop. The loop is having radius r. On one side there's a magnetic field. On the left hand side of that vertical line there's no magnetic field. Okay, on the right hand side there is a field. Field is present. So there's a loop. No, let's. So initially the loop will be like this, no, here. I'll draw the sequence of diagrams so that it'll be easy for you to understand the concept. So this is the initial. Oh, that one. So it is given angular velocity. Let's assume that one. So after some time, the position of the loop will be like this. Then it will be. So this will be the half of the. Like this, you can continue the sequence. Huh? I'll show here. Afterwards, you work out further the situation. The complete situation will be. I'm rotating with a constant angular velocity. Let's omega be the angular velocity. So now when somewhere it has come to this position, everywhere B bar is present. Here no magnetic field here. Only on the right hand side there's a field is present. Find the EMF induced loop as a function of time. Only rod we were in better position, no, but he has brought some loop, no. Unless what method you can bring it to solve this problem. Let me take some angle theta or one diagram I'll give it. Huh? So this is the center of the loop. let it be. So do we have any sector here? Are you seeing any sector? What is the area of this sector? Half r square theta area. So this we see sector. What is the area of this sector? So we write r square theta by 2. And it is next to link with a constant angular acceleration. So what is theta now? Theta should be equal to alpha t square by 2. So substitute here. So alpha theta square by 4. This was the area now. What is the flux linking the loop? B into A, let flux linking the loop. Yellow color region, because here is about magnetic field is present. No magnetic field here. So this should be B r square alpha t square by 4. This will differentiate. Then we'll get the EMF induced. And that EMF induced is asking us to plot as a function of time. So E equal to d phi by dt. So this should be B alpha r square t by 2. Differentiating with respect to time, I'll get the EMF induced. So that EMF induced is a function of time. Okay, this is about the magnitude. But here, let's apply the Lenz's law. When it moves from position 1 to position 2. So look at this one. What's happening to flux? Or so like from position 1 to almost position. So this, let me write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From as it moves from 1 to 5, position 5. So what happened to flux linking the loop? It increases, no? Here 0 flux, here the maximum flux is linking. The flux 1 to 5, it increases. Again from 5, 6, as you continue the sequence. As I continue the sequence, I'll draw the sequence here. If you are able to imagine, I think there won't be. So it will come next, and finally, this will be the condition. Okay, now come for this. This will be the, so 6, this will be 7, 8, and finally it will return to 1. When it moves from 7, 8, so again when it moves from, say like a 7, no, the flux start decreasing, no? So from 5, what happens as it starts rotating, the flux start decreasing. Look at the area now. This area start decreasing. So shall I say, sir, from 1 to 5, flux will increase, and 5 to 9, the flux will decrease. So flux is varying, no? So now what happened? We have to plot that one. The rate of change of EMF induced, d phi by dt, will it be constant? That's what I'm asking. How to plot that graph? So EMF induced is a function of time. So we'll do one thing. If the loop rotated with a constant angular velocity, first we'll check it. Then I'll come for angular acceleration. I'll slide down. So first we'll plot two graphs. If the loop is rotated with constant angular velocity, tell me if it rotates with constant angular velocity. So what is in place of theta? You're going to write it. Omega t. I'll proceed first with the mathematics. Area of the sector area of the sector A equal to r square theta by 2. Then the flux linking the loop is equal to B into A, B r square theta by 2. If the loop rotates with constant speed omega, then theta will become omega t, then the flux will be B r square omega t by 2. I'll differentiate, I'll get EMF induced. d phi by dt, this should be equal to how much? B r square omega by 2. Now plot this graph, the graph, how the graph will be. Alternate signal like this. So there's nothing but called as alternating signal. So this should be equal to plus C minus C. Now whatever the time taken, that will be equal, no? So this is, if you take, this is T naught, 2T naught, 3T naught, 4T naught. For every half interval of time, the current through the loop will alternate because flux increasing, decreasing. Will I agree this? So here, if you want to show the direction of induced current, here if you want to show the direction of induced current, according to Lenz's law, how the induced current should flow. Negative flux increasing, d phi negative, EMF induced positive. So the induced current should flow in this direction. Call I2. So here also I3. Now what about here? It should be in this direction. I8. Just analyze, no, because you are, so after this the direction of induced current will change. So here it is I4, no, this will be I6. Is that okay? No, so they may test you with all these things. They may ask you at any certain position also, they may test you what about the direction of current. So take help of basic Lenz's law and analyze it. So the direction of current alternate, the EMF also alternates. Now, what is our question? But he asked for angular acceleration, no? And look at the EMF as a function. Earlier, E was a function of time. E was a constant and it alternates. Here, E is a function of time. Should increase linearly and also should alternate. Able to make it out, look at I4 and I6. Should also alternate. So how the possible graph will be? So the same, take help of this graph. Now you alternate it. So this should be vertical lines. I should not draw. Vertical lines I should not draw. Interval of time need not be equal because it's accelerating motion. No? What is the time taken for equal angular displacement in angular accelerated motion? Should keep on decrease. So make it this, you keep on decrease here. This was the EMF. This time. Don't try T naught to T naught. You know accelerated motion. What happened to distance? What is the time taken for equal displacement? That should keep on decrease. That's what we are showing, that gaps. That one. This time interval gap no should keep on decrease here. The application, the rod idea only. Here it's a loop. Take help of the basic mathematics. Okay, no, similarly. Where is the other question? Just give time. I'll adjust this one. Other question is here, no? Yeah. Okay, read this question now. A rod of length L, this is that rod. This is a rod with a constant angular velocity omega about one end I shown figure. It other end touches a conducting ring of negligible resistance. A resistance R is contained between center and periphery of circumference. This is everywhere the B bar is into the plane as shown in figure. So we have to calculate the expression for current I. Find the current I in the circuit. Find the current through the resistor R. So now, whenever you get a diagram like this, you just go for, say, the rod will rotate in such a way that it will not disturb the resistor. You must go back to the basics all. So let's give some points like a O. One problem you can understand, you can manage, similar to like motion EMF, long rails. What are the role of the long rails? They were just like a connecting wires, no? The same thing with the ring here. This is O, A, okay, this is B, and let me take this as C. And let me take this D. Let me indicate that points. It will be much easier for us. So now a rotating rod, what you should replace? The rotating rod with a cell. The rotating rod with a cell. So this is what that ring. This is what that ring. And what about the rod? There's a rod. And what we do, the rotating rod should be replaced with a cell. So can you give the polarity now? B bar into the plane velocity. So this end should be positive. So the in place of rotating rod, I'll bring a cell here. So this should be a cell of EMF. It rotates constant angular velocity. EMF induced across the cell will be constant. And this is that resistance R. This is O, A, B, C, and D. Is asking to get expression for current I. So first, what is E is equal to? E equal to B omega L square by 2. Now, why the polarity? Again, Fleming's left-hand rule. Assume B bar into the plane. Tangential velocity of any point on the rod you give it, the thumb will be pointing towards O. So therefore, the end O will be positive. The positive charge will drift towards O. Okay, how to get the overall the circuit here? This you redraw it because redrawing is what essential for you, because I'll bring many other circuit problems. Now, where is the cell? Cell is here. You start like this. This is O and this is A. From O, what happens? There's a resistor R. Keep that resistor R here. I'm from O, what happens? It is connected to B. From resistor R connected to point B. From B to A, there's an arc. There's an arc. Arc, what happens? ADB. So this is that arc. So BD, this is A is a common point. Then from A to B, again there's a one more arc, ACB. So bring that arc, ACB. It's O, no? So what is the role of ring? It's just like a connecting wire. Then what is the expression for current I? It will be this one. So what is I is equal to E B omega L square by 2R. So the ring, what happened? Just behaves like a connecting wire. Treat it as a connecting wire. Okay, agreed. No. Now, if the ring is having resistance per unit length lambda, tell me what you make changes. The arc ADB, it all depends upon the angle. No, the angle between the resistor, the arc length AB, what pen will determine the resistance. Suppose I given instant 90 degree, I'm showing it. Then this will have resistance, RADB. The other arc BCA will have resistance. Replace that with resistance and work out the problem. And we know as the rod rotates, what happened to length of the arc AB? That keep on increase. The resistance of this what happened will increase. The resistance of this will decrease. Then what happened? Effective resistance will change. The current will be changing. So you should be ready with a problem. If the ring is also having resistance, as you can manage, then replace that arc with suitable resistance based on that what angle they subtended. Then you have to carry on the problem. I'm making things clear. You have this problem in SC Verma, where the ring is having a resistance. Then you should draw this equivalent diagram. There's a very basic problem I'm giving. So just do connections like this. So you rest all everything you can manage. You know rotation, EMF, all the things. I know. Similarly, is telling the same situation if the length of the rod is 2L. In SCORMA, there are only three problems are there. If you take the sing gauge, there are only around some two or three are included. But it's similar to like a motional EMF. All conditions will come. So you must put effort. Don't just confine to the books. You have to work out all the possible things. So now let's go for the rod. Which end will be positive? So if there's a rod, when I replace this rod, what you should replace with a cell, no? How to give the polarity for the cells. So this end should be positive, negative, and this should be the positive, this should be negative. O, A, D, we have a resistor R here. So B bar is into the plane, B bar, and angular velocity of the rod is like this. So B bar velocity. So similarly come for this, B bar and tangential. So therefore the end D and A will be negative, that one. Both the rods will have same EMF into. So write EOA and EOD. What about the magnitude of that? EOA equal to EOD should be equal to B omega L square by 2. The resistance of the R also given. The resistance of the rod is also given. So shall I introduce small r here? Resistance 2R. Previous any resistance is there? Oh, wait, some resistance is there here. I didn't see that resistance of the rod. I'll change the end answer. R plus capital R plus small r. Question given like this. There's a resistance R. Then bring that internal resistance of the rod. So this should be the circuit. Now similarly come for this. What about the current? How to bring expression for current? Redrawing circuit is the best thing, no? Rather than fighting here. Redrawing the circuit. No. Redrawing. So this E has given point as E, that one. So redraw the circuit. So first we'll begin with This is OA, O. So there's a cell. Let this be equal to E. Let me write it here. Then from A what will happen? A point to the, from O to a resistor R. So this should be the, to the point C, no? This is C, and let this be the point A. And from C to A arc. And from C to D, so again a cell should be connected. AED, one more arc will come, so that E will be here. C to D, one more arc should come, no? So C to, and D to O, one cell. Later on we can redraw it. First let's have some rough diagram. D, and from D to EA, an arc. CA is one arc, CD is one arc, DEA is one arc. So this can be everything. So now C, D, E, all their common points, no? Because there's a conducting ring, make them one common. And if you redraw the circuit, it will simple, it will appear like this. There's a resistor. This is R, E, E, R. So all this, everything will become C, A, C, D, E. This is O, A, C, D, E. So you can calculate the current through the resistor R. Fine. So these are the some types of numericals can be asked. So just redrawing circuit. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, okay, fine. Power gone. So with mobile we'll continue. Okay, now let's go for the next part of these are applications. Similar to motional EMF, we started, no? Rod given velocity and release. The same conditions is what I'm going to bring it here. Please do generalize, it will be very easy for you. There's a ring, iron ring I'm saying. There's a rod, a conducting ring of radius L lies on horizontal surface. How the weight will act? mg will act into the plane. A rod OA of mass m and length L is hinged about end O, and end A slides on circumference of the ring. Resistance of ring is negligible. A resistor R is connected between ring and rod as shown. You can see that blue color one. At T code, the rod is given angles to omega naught and release. Find I of t, omega t, and total heat generated in circuit. The very first problem of motional EMF, the very first problem rotational EMF. Both are same. Many good learning things are there. Let's understand. So what is the basic idea? A rotating rod will behave like a cell. So first replace with a cell. So what shall we do now? I should replace this with an equivalent cell. All of you seen the diagram? I'll minimize it because I need space to draw other things. Let's come. So what is the basic idea of this? The rotating rod should be replaced with a cell, that one. So here, so there's a ring. Torque is needed. The resistor is connected about these fixed points. So here it will be, take this one. Now, how to, which end will be positive, negative, anything? Which end of the rod? So B bar into the plane, B bar into plane tangent. So this end will be positive. So here replace with a EMF. Angular velocity omega let it be. So the current I will flow like this. I think it's quite clear, no? Like previous discussion what we made. What is the EMF induced in the rod? B omega L square by 2. And what about current in the circuit? E by R. So current in the circuit will be B omega L square by 2R. What happened to rod? What type of motion the rod will describe? Let's come for the Lenz's law. What is the cause? The angular velocity is the cause, no? Then how the angular motion will be opposed? There should be torque. From where torque will come? You look at the rotating rod now. It's in a magnetic field. A current I is flowing. So different parts of the rod will experience a force, and that ampere force will set up a torque about O. I'll show just in only on the rod. Let me show it. There's a point 2. Let me take a small element and how the current I is flowing like this. Let this be at a distance x dx b bar into the plane. There's a rod OA, and how the current is flowing in this direction. Tell me like this element, how the force will be on the B bar I. So the force will be in this direction. Will it set up any torque about O? As a retarding torque, d tau should be equal to df into x. And what is df? B I x into dx. This is due to what? Due to induced current. So according to Lenz's law, the direction of induced current in the circuit should be such that it should oppose the cause. What is the cause? Angular velocity. How do I can oppose angular motion? By setting up a torque. And what direction the torque? Torque will act in this direction. Torque will act in this direction. And what this torque will do, we decrease angular velocity. So what happened to angular velocity of the rod? Keeps on decreases and finally comes to rest. This is about torque due to induced current. Everywhere, almost around some 20 numericals are there, like how we had BIL, no? Similarly, the induced torque. Better directly remember this so that in exams directly you can start from here. So let's calculate what is that induced torque here. So this should be equal to B. What is I from this equation? B omega L square by 2. This will be X dx. B square omega L square 2. I'll write it tau I, induced torque, no? So this should be equal to B square omega L square by 2, no? 2R 0 to L. So what is the total induced torque should be? Tau I B square L to the power of 4 by 4R. This you call induced torque or torque due to induced current. Just call induced torque, and how it will be directed opposite to angular velocity. Now, what is the question asked? Like I of t, no? Current at any time t. For that, we don't know angular velocity, omega t. So how to bring angular velocity of the rod at any time t. So we'll enter into now the basics. So here that element what we assumed is like this. Dx, this will be df. If you want to just show one, what all we did. Let's come for the basic mathematics. Uh, how do this torque will act opposite to angular velocity? So let me write tau I. So this minus IO alpha should be equal to tau I. So this is m L square by 3 alpha b square L to power of 4 by 4r. Uh, do remember, because every time you can't calculate torque due to induced current, immediately start begin and apply the rotational mechanics concept. Rotating rod replace with a cell, then look at the conditions, after that. So what you should do, what is that induced torque, directly write this and write down the Newton's laws of motion for rotational motion, then carry on with the mathematics. So what is further alpha, you can write d omega by dt, then integrate. Let me add a page. Actually, when you generalize, things will be very easy for you. Initially, you're now learning, you feel so many things you're learning. Maybe at the end of the chapter, you should feel that, okay, very few concepts are there here, not many. Let me write the mathematical part. Alpha, what you can write, d omega by dt. So d omega by dt minus m by 3. 1 L square get cancelled, so b square L square omega by 4r. So rest all everything, this will be 3 b square L square 4 mr minus dt. Angular to omega naught omega t. Omega equal to omega naught e to power of minus lambda t. What is that lambda? Lambda is all that terms. Similar thing, no? They're also exponentially decreasing. Then what is the expression for current? Substitute there. I is equal to, substitute that omega here, you'll get current also as a function of time. He's asking totally generated. What is the mechanism? H is equal to I square R dt 0 to infinity. Or this is equal to just what all rotational contingency given to the rod at t equals 0, that only what pen finally consumed by the resistor. So this is what heat generated. There's a basic, I'm suggesting you that one. So those who are getting trouble, start with this one. See this, think on this 1 hour, 1 time, 2 time, 3 time. Once you get a basic, no, I'll now with the help of this 10, 15 numericals, I'll solve it. The background will be this one. Just see once. From here we have started. Now what you do in place of resistor, what will happen? We can bring capacitor, we'll bring a cell. Then instead of moving this constant given angle of t, I'll rotate with constant torque. All conditions will come. I will scroll down. I'll scroll down. Okay, let's take the next problem. So there's a small change there. What is it? At t equals the rod is at rest and moved with constant angular velocity omega. The same previous thing, I'm going to move the rod with a constant angular velocity omega. What's be the external torque? I should apply it. If you are very smart enough, you should convert the previous problem into, you should take help of, you should convert the previous problem into in idea into this problem. The rod is moved with a constant angular velocity. So how the induced torque will act? How the induced torque will act? Will act opposite to the angular velocity given to the rod. How the induced torque will act? It will act opposite to angular velocity given to the rod. So therefore, there should be an external torque. In what direction I should apply? Clockwise. The initial diagram. Now come for this. So angular velocity should be maintained. How the induced torque will act? The induced torque will act in this direction. Because how the current will flow like this. Don't bother current here, there's a short circuit, you need not to bother. Then, so what is this induced torque? Magnitude of this? B omega square L to power of 4 by 4R. B square L to power of 4 omega by 4R. If the length of the rod changes, then proportionally you have to change this one. Then how much of external torque, how the external torque should be applied? Should be applied in this sense. Then the angular speed of the rod will remain constant. No? So this will be B omega square, B omega naught, 4R. And what about current in the circuit? Will remain constant. How much it is? I is equal to E by R. B omega naught L square by 2R. A constant current flows, omega naught constant. This much of torque, external agent should apply. What is the power generated by external agent? Omega naught, no, not omega square. Omega, only omega. B square. This is, and I'll write it. So what should be the external torque? No, external power B square L to power of 4 omega naught square by 4R. I should supply this much of power. Where do all this power gone? Power dissipated by the resistor R. If you want, you can cross check. Both will be equal. You square this high, you square it and calculate. So we'll end up this is equal to tell me what will happen here. P external equal to PR. So tell me, like, compared to translational motion, rotational motion, EMF is much easier. No, what is the space required? Just the space of the ring. So let the length of the rod be 1 meter. 1 meter space I can accommodate. No, even let it be 10 meter. Even let it be 100 meter. No problem. But if you go for translatory motion, you need long rails. Space is a problem. No, land is very costly. So therefore, the rotational EMF is what we use in application. Motional EMF is what hypothetical, just only to learn concepts. This is what practically we'll be using in all applications. You go to any ideal project, no, where electrical power generated, rotational EMF is what will be applied here. Now, how the questions: a bulb will be connected at rest in place of R. Torque, initially torque, the torque acting is twice of equal to induced current. Then the bulb will have constant brightness. If I double the torque acting on the rod, tell me what happened to brightness of the bulb? Will increase by 2 times, no? If I double the torque, the power will get double, no? Look at this equation, P external. 2 times of tau, you write it. So the brightness of the bulb will increase by 2 times. The objective questions will be based on like this. Initially, the rod is moved with a constant angular speed. So then what will happen? The brightness of the bulb is much. If I double the torque, angular velocity will not remain constant. Okay, so sorry, I'm just putting it again. If I double the torque, what happens? No longer angular velocity will not be constant because net torque will be non-zero. It is going to have angular accelerated motion. Then omega will continuously increase. What happened to brightness of the bulb will continuously increase. If the external torque is equal to induced torque, then angular velocity of the rod remain constant. External torque more than induced torque, the angular velocity of the rod will increase. If omega increases, come for here. If omega current will increase. If current increases, brightness of the bulb will increase. Not numerical. They just test you with analysis here. And now I'm directly bringing a torque. It's a test. Complete thing is there. Read the question. Find the angular velocity of the rod at time t. Now this is the rotating rod will behave like a cell. So here also you bring the cell. So first you introduce that cell. So there's a rod. There's a resistor. No, the rod is there. Now look at the how the omega will be clockwise. No, in this case, please do make observation. Don't just continue with the previous one because the rod is a test. I applied a clockwise torque. The angular velocity should be clockwise. Then B bar into the plane. So this end will be positive now. This end of the rod will be positive. This will be negative. There's a EMF induced. Then a current I will flow in this direction. Across the rod, the current I will flow in. How the induced torque should be, you take small element of length dx, B bar current I. So the df will act in this direction on this small element. So how the induced torque should be opposite. The external torque what we applied is in this direction. So well, the rod will move with constant angular velocity. I think you bring back the rotational mechanics small ideas. The induced torque depends on what? Directly formula. I'm telling this one. That's the use of that particular formula. The induced torque, what is the equation for induced torque? Equal to B square L to power of 4 omega by 4R. Provided length of the rod is L. If the length of the rod is changed to L, no, again you have to change this particular values. Then what is our entire discussion now? It should be like T tau minus Ti should be equal to M L square by 3 into alpha. This is external torque. Constant external torque. So this is a constant. No? And what about the induced torque? It is going to vary. No? So let's write the expression. No? I'll start with this diagram now. So this should be equal to, so T tau minus, this will be B square L to power of 4 omega 4R equal to, this should be d omega by dt. Again, the same old fashioned in motion EMF, what we did, the similar method. Omega will increase exponentially with the time. So the equation will end up something of, say, some A 1 minus e to power of E naught, any other symbols. P. So let this be beta T. The angular velocity of the rod will continuously increase with the time exponentially. When at t equal to infinity you put it, it will attain a constant. So this will be the terminal angular velocity, or better write omega t. Because as the net torque, because of external torque tau acting, the induced torque will continuously increase. No, after a long time, what happens? The induced torque will become equal to applied external torque tau naught, and the angular velocity of the rod remains constant, and that is what terminal angular velocity. Can we calculate this? I want this terminal angular velocity. I don't want you to use mathematics. Directly, you should have think. After a long time, put t equal to infinity. The angular velocity is omega t, no? And what will happen in that situation? The net torque should be 0. So tau naught should be called tau I. So directly you get this. Objective questions will be of like this. At t equal to infinity. What is induced torque? B square L to power of 4 omega t by 4R. 4R tau naught by, somewhere in the corner, no? So there are two ways are there. Solve mathematically this, integrate, put t equal to infinity, you'll get angular velocity, terminal angular velocity. Or else directly, you know, after a long time, the induced torque should become equal to external torque, and you know induced torque, the omega, you write omega t and solve it. So what is this? This is the terminal. And what about energy relationship? What about energy relationship here? For t less than, for t less than, for t less than infinity to 0. What about power generated by extra agent? A part of it is used for increasing rotational contingent of the rod, remaining power displayed in resistor R. After long time, or at t equal to infinity, power generated by extra agent directly dissipated as power in the resistor R, where this current will be constant. How to calculate I infinity? We know omega constant, so I is equal to B omega t. This will be the power relationship. No, same. Next, one more situation. I'll bring friction. There'll be a friction between. So let there be a friction between this one. Quotient of friction be mu. What changes you're going to make it? Released. I'll just modify this part. Let mu be the coefficient of friction between ring and the rod. Or some constant value. Some let, because mu again calculation, mu n mg will come. Let let the friction, will write it, let the friction between, because again you have to work out that one. Let friction between the ring and rod be F. What changes you are going to make it here? Some constant value. I think you have to just introduce the basic rotation mechanics ideas. No? How the induced torque, again, this rotating rod will behave like a cell. Let's get into the problem. Involved action, the angular velocity omega naught given. So B bar, so this end will be positive. This end of the rod will be positive. This will be negative. This is easy. What about the how the friction? Friction should act, should set up anti-torque. So the friction here on the rod will act at this particular point tangentially, because the rod is in contact only here. So there's a friction, and the induced torque will act in this direction. So therefore, what is the net torque acting on the system? Yeah, I'll move on to the, I'll scroll down. Well, let's keep this diagram in mind. What is the net retarding torque? Not only torque due to induce, also torque due to friction. So the resultant torque, it should be minus I naught alpha, should be equal to torque due to induced current plus torque due to friction. So this should be minus ml square by 3 d omega by dt b square L to the power of 4 omega 4r plus f into L. Again, solving this, we'll get the required answer. Definitely, it should come to rest here. So, what in this case, what happened? What all the kinetic energy given to the rod, a part will be taken by the resistor, remaining by the friction. This what practical. Till now, what all discuss ideal, but practically there will be a friction between the ring and rod. So now, what all kinetic energy given to the rod, the whole energy will not be converted as thermal energy across the resistor. A part will be taken by the this one. So for that, what I should do? I'll apply a grease on this ring. Due to grease, what happen? Definitely the frictional resistive force will decrease. Then what happen? We can save some mechanical power. So what is our thing? What all kinetic energy given to the rod that should appear across the resistor R. But practically there will be a resistive force. So the work done by friction should be as minimum as possible. So apply grease on the ring. So again, it's a mathematics. You solve it. Okay, let me start the.
What norm? There is no normal contact in this situation. Like, which force is going to set up normal contact?
Now tell me, like, you are in second year, no? Mechanics also got over.
No, sir. There is no force in horizontal direction.
No, I'm telling you, there is a, like, you mechanics got over, no? So like if seventh or sixth standard, okay, you are in now 12th standard. Huh? How the MG will act?
Okay, sir. Got it, sir.
This one. See, next again, under 5 years, you are going to become engineer. Nothing wrong, but do in practical world. Try to be more in practical world. We don't have any problem based on in books like this. It's a very simple idea. Nothing is there, no? They can introduce. Huh? Be careful. Okay, let's start the induced electric field. How many are there? Again, induced LTP is similar to Ampere circuit. The questions in exams more logical. So you can't just depend on teacher. Teacher should teach all questions and something related come, I'll solve it. You must have your individual ability to attack the questions. So from my level, the best questions I'll discuss. In exams, the person who is setting paper, he may come with a one logic. And so it's better to learn things and go to the exam rather than totally dependent on teacher. Like in Ampere circuit law, the application part. Like this, any best questions can be asked here. So here also you're going to